for our YouTube audience, we are here. We are clear. It is a week later, hopefully. I don't delay this video like a few days or something and get lazy. It should be a week later. We have a new episode, Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 2, Episode 6 to talk about. And we've got our buddies back once again. We've got Mr. Bacon.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Mr. R.
Hello, hello.
See, now I'm saying Mr. for both. We're both here. We're back. We're both here. We're all three here. They're both here to talk again. I guess we'll go through and do what we did last week, and we'll do general sentences. Try not to make them paragraphs about what we thought overall. So I started with Bacon in the intro, so we'll start with him again.
Yeah, so this episode was hype-inducing and nostalgic, and probably my favorite so far from this season of anime. Yeah, it reminded me that, man, I actually do like this Attack on Titan stuff. I said it last week and I'll say it again. Good, like it.
Okay, Mr. R, how are you feeling?
Yeah, similar vein. I don't know if I'd class it as my favorite personally, but I think it took what was quite what felt to me like quite a almost pedestrian chapter from the manga and made it a lot more hype, a lot more exciting. Of course, we got the return of the Queen at the very end. So
she's back, lol.
But I was thinking of a different queen, but
not the literal.
There are many queens in Attack on Titan.
I had something to say. I was going to say, so I haven't even scrolled through the chapter yet, but we did just do one chapter. Is this correct?
Yeah, just one chapter.
Yes, because we end on Annie, of course. The Minty had told me, and apparently he's all up to date on every spoiler in the book, that he told me last week I think I said that the Alliance stuff would be at the end of the next episode, currently, like 2 episodes from last week, but our next episode. But then he was like, no, it's going to be the one after that. So I assume next week will also be another slow 1 chapter per episode episode. We're getting.
It feels like they're just going that way now. Like the movie is happening.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like I just like physically, there's no way it can. Because I mean, we have all of next week. We have a lot of stuff to do with. What is it? We still have Annie meeting Hitch.
Yeah,
we still have Flock sort of going full.
We got the pie scene.
The pie scene.
No, the pie scene will be the week after, I believe. I think that is in 126.
Oh no!
The dreaded pie scene. Too much discourse.
We've got
was made
Regako
about
Village
that.
as well. We've got all of that stuff.
Yes.
We've got Hanji forming the alliance with Piak and Magath.
Yeah,
There's so much still to cover before we even get to save the. I mean, the save the world's at what, the end of 126,
Yes,
and we still have the flashback, the Island Devils flashback chapter.
Yes.
Because they skipped over that before Aaron's in favor of having Aaron's speech. So
now again, I'm summarizing probably poorly what Minty has said that he's told me about 3 times, and he gets very mad when I say things wrong. But apparently we know a lot. The leakers know a lot about up to episode 8, but after that it's like a mystery. And apparently the Mikasa flashback, which is what I call that flashback.
Avengers theme starts playing. Indeed.
That is not in the first 8 episodes. So either it got cut, which I think is impossible. They have to do the ice cream panel, or it's after episode 8, which would be interesting. Maybe it's the cold open for a movie. I'm not certain, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's the first real like cut or move around they've done this season. Everything else is
even though just show it all together with the freedom panel. I mean, it feels like the flashback is like recontextualized with the whole freedom chapter, right? With Baby Aaron, but it's a bit puzzling. I'll be honest.
I feel like it's just they wanted last week to just be the big one, to be Ymir and the Aaron panel. The backstory and the declaration, but yes. I'm not too worried about it. I think they'll put it in. I think they'll figure out a clever way to do it. They've built up good faith so far, I believe.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the thing is, stuff like this has worked before. If you think back to the, excuse me, just 1 second.
I can finish what he's gonna say, Bacon. I know what he's gonna say.
Okay, yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna
I
bring
was
up
just
the
about, I
Ymir
thought I was
thing.
about to sneeze there.
The other
I was
Ymir.
about to bring up the Ymir thing. I brought it up earlier, but I was muted in the Discord channel, but
Ah.
not in my stream. So bad
Yeah.
bad collab. I've got both up now, so I can see if I'm muted in one.
Yes, but do you want to say more about the Ymir point, or did I spoil the whole thing?
I mean, you kind of. I mean, it was more. It wasn't. There's not a huge amount to add to it specifically. It's more just like that. I think that worked in the anime.
I don't know if I agree
It
with
added
this,
a lot more.
but yeah. It's not like awful.
Like it definitely maybe I think it definitely made it more clear that the outside world was definitely a thing. I guess that was the only concerning thing, but we already had our hunches to that. So it was interesting putting it in there. Let's say.
Yes. We'll have to see how they incorporate it.
Yeah, the Island Devils chapter. Yeah, be interesting to see.
It is a very important chapter. I remember there was all that coming of age discourse. I think I might have single-handedly been talking about that, how it felt like a coming of age chapter where they get drunk for the first time together, presumably, and all hang out and pretend to be actual like teenagers or early 20s, whatever they're supposed to be at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely
the
that was
fandom
the
is going to get
chapter.
very upset as well because we're going to have it's a very Sasha heavy chapter as well. Sasha's in it all for a lot. People are going to be sad again.
No, imagine getting sad
Bacon
over
wanna shit
Sasha's
on
death.
Sasha? Yeah.
Couldn't be me. couldn't be me.
Again, I'm going to maintain as well that I want to see what happens in that because in one of the panels, Isayama drew an extra person, and I've always struggled to work out who the fuck it was.
Oh, interesting.
The flashback to Kyle's amazing video on why Mikasa is now a good character. That was from that chapter, I think.
Yeah.
Because she could have kissed Eren.
She could
Wow.
have. She could have. Is that where it all started
But,
turning in the Mikasa direction? Mikasa
I
is
think
S
so, I
tier on
think
that
so.
tier list. She used. I have a video
Yeah.
on the channel. It's still on there, shitting on Mikasa, talking about how the only interesting thing about her character is that she is trying to emulate Levi, and that's kind of interesting. Oh my goodness!
true. What?
How the times have changed.
Who is this?
Yeah. I was also linking in chat the Annie isn't coming back. She has no relevance to the story anymore.
Yes.
Kyle Entertainment video. It's such a good.
It's I watched it again because you linked it. It's so bad. There's literally 2 comments. I just repeat the same 2 comments that talk about Annie being bad, like how she's not coming back.
Were they comments from your videos? Then,
Yes,
I take
they
it?
very much were. There was one.
Everybody has to go watch it
Yes.
because Kyle does the chuckle at the end, and I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about it, and it was the
chuckle
best
is
thing.
very
It
good.
Bacon,
was so good.
You were talking earlier about how we were in messaging because I thought maybe we might have to cancel this session, but we didn't have to. You talked about me recording in my room. I actually did record that little bit at the end in my room on a whim,
Wow!
and then added it to the
This is
video last
incredible.
minute. So we're tying it all together. But yes, that video exists
Sergeant
too.
316 is saying the comparison on Twitter between Eren and Thorfinn is insane, Lamau.
Are they?
I have no idea how far Thorfinn's come in the manga. I'm only 8 episodes into the anime, but maybe you two can.
No, it's just people being like comparing protagonists, and what they'll do, they'll get like the greater than sign, and they'll get 2
put one
pictures,
of
and
them,
then
yeah.
they'll put
Right,
one next to each
okay.
other. I wanted to do one where I was like putting Zenitsu over Askeladd just for the memes, but yeah, I've yet to do that. He's like the most hated character in Demon Slayer.
I
Forbidden
knew he was going to
Jarkey.
say Demon Slayer.
To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of Zenitsu. I have been
I
more
think
recently.
everybody agrees he's better when he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Literally.
Is this the pig dude?
Anyway,
I know the pig.
No,
character.
that's
know, no.
Inosuke. He is the best character in Demon
yeah,
Slayer.
he is.
Yeah, I thought people liked
He
it.
is.
Right?
Zenitsu's the coward in the yellow Haori.
Well, he gets the coolest animations.
Yeah.
So
All right,
Yeah.
cut this nonsense out. All right, back on topic.
we're
What
gonna
were we
bring it
talking
back.
about before
What
that?
nonsense?
Were we done there? Should we get to the
Carl,
episode?
I just want to call you out here, okay?
Uh-huh.
I was listening back to our last chat, a little bit, and you brought up your feminism talking point, and all
Oh.
this like, Attack on Titan doesn't sexualize as women, and then we got to the Annie page, and I was
Yeah,
just like, okay,
they've done Annie
So
stuff
it's
before.
like,
There's the
that's
shot
kinda-
in season 2 of her ass. Ryan is talking about her ass in season 1. Mikasa ab shot. The anime, sometimes they do it, all right?
the anime does like there was one I
Treacherous
remember of
fucking
Historia
motion
after she kills.
thing we have to watch. Yeah.
The
But also
fucking
PX,
the
PX like
the-
most rememberable character moment is literally her. Yep.
Yeah. And have you ever seen the multi-language version of that shot with like the Spanish one?
I have not.
No.
Oh my god! If you search for like Ohio Porco or Good Morning Park multi-language, you'll get like it in all these different languages, and the Spanish one is just fucking whew.
I think I actually have. At one point, that came up with my YouTube recommendations. Yeah.
Buenos dias, Porco.
Oh yeah, I think I might have seen this on Twitter actually. The what were we talking about? Oh, Annie shots, feminism stuff. That's what we were talking about. I don't know. It's not hot to me at all. I don't like the wetness, frankly. But I don't know if we want to talk about this. Should we just get into the chapter?
I'm more thinking about underage.
episode.
That's personally something that stops me. But Carl, if it's the
Annie
wetness that
legal
stops you,
age
I
right
won't
now?
stop you.
She's 15-year-old body, I guess.
This sounds like a
15-year-old
problematic
mind.
conversation.
Yes, this is a different conversation too.
I'm
Armin
rejecting
doesn't
some of
I'd
care.
rather.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Queen Gabby saving Kai's life?
Should we go
The
chronologically,
OST.
or should we jump around?
Oh, okay.
What was Mr.
Let's
Ross
do
saying?
chronologically. Why not?
I was just saying, Sergeant 316 saying Annie is baddie though, ain't she 20? She is baddie, but she's also a queen, and technically she's like 19, but she's been living unaging in a crystal, so she's in like her 15-year-old self. I can't remember how old was Annie. Older than the rest of the cervical? Was she 16 at the start of the?
Yeah, aren't they 1 year older, or they're not, or something? All right,
Reiner's like 2 years older.
Is he? I think you're right. We can. Somebody in chat can look it up and tell us. Let's get off the age conversation. I think we should go chronologically because I think they added, because they're doing this thing every time with the recap. They add, I think, a few more shots. So I think they added some Gabby reaction shots to the transformation. Do you have any corroborating or denying information on that regard? Was that a new shot?
I don't think they added the shots. I don't think it was a new shot, but I think it's the shot they use right before you see Eren's sort of big Titan sort of roar transformation. So I think it maybe seemed new because it wasn't accompanied by
maybe
Eren turning into the founding Titan. I feel that's what it was. I think that was completely it was complete recap to pad an extra 90 seconds onto the episode.
It wasn't very long this time, not like 2 or whatever it was, but yeah, we get that in the intro. Then we do get this shot of the title page for chapter 124, the Thor one with Mr. Leonhardt again. But then we also get the brief shot of them going them coming out of the Paths realm, and people around are kind of freaking out. There's an interesting thing here about how clear the anime is making it that like Eldians outside of Paradis are also going to get killed. I was actually thinking about this while watching. Do you think there are more Eldians outside of the walls than inside of the walls? Because there's the kid, I forget his name, the weird one with the rotoscoping and kicking things. He talks about how he comes from like a different country where Eldians are treated even worse. So there are like camps of Eldians all over the world.
I think there are more. Like it's something wild. Like if there's some numbers we can go off, and I can't remember if some of these numbers were anime only or not, but I'm pretty sure that back in season 1, back right at the beginning, when they sent the expedition out to recapture the territory and they lost and everyone died, I think they sent out like 200,000 people or something, and that was equivalent to a fifth of their total population, which means that Paradis had a population at least 5 years ago, or 4 years ago. No, how many years ago? 7 years ago of a million people.
Yeah.
Which also suggests that there are more people died to make the walls than went on to live inside them as well. I have a feeling this is just Isayama not really thinking about the numbers that much more than anything else.
Because I also saw on a lot of places like they're putting like Eldia, like the walls of Attack on Titan, on on a map over top of different places. Like
it's like the
scale.
It's like bigger than Germany.
Yeah.
It was massive.
It was around there. Yeah.
It is massive, and so like when you say 1 million people, Germany has like a population of at least 60 or 70 million. It's like, I think a lot of that land is not usable, right?
What was Germany's population in like 1914?
Oh, I see.
Because that's probably where we should look at the
pre-war, so it's going to be bigger than 5 years later.
Yeah.
Look it up, boys. Look them up. I'll leave it to you.
I'm typing right now. 67 million it says. Found. Yeah.
Actually,
In
yeah,
19
looking at 1st of December 1990, it was 56 million actually. So
Yeah. It's been pretty stable. I mean, to be fair, the war did kill a lot of people.
both
Yeah.
wars killed a lot of people. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So Attack on Titan is kind of like currently is kind of in like the 30s or something, or the 20s. So if we do like 107 years before that, it would have been like the 1800. I don't know if Isama's thinking about this. Like what's Germany didn't exist in like 1804. Like when did Germany?
Yeah, that would have been like Prussia.
Yeah.
He's Go Isayama. Of course, he's thought about this, guys.
Yes, he's thought about everything. Everything was planned from the beginning.
Everything.
I mean, the thing is, it depends. Well, we don't know exactly how many Colossal Titans were in the walls, but I think people were able to estimate
Are the Colossal
based on
Titans
like the dimensions of them.
Or not?
Yes, I thought they were. I thought, but at the same time, that would have raised the interesting question of what happened when the Titan curse was undone. Would these millions of people suddenly get sort of time jumped to 100 years later?
Yeah,
I
think they all just fell over and went into the air. So
well, we never saw that. We only saw the rumbling. We saw them stop their advance, but we never saw the end of the curse. So
is there a shot of them all falling over?
Yeah, there is. That's what happens when Zeke, when Eren gets blown up and separated from the centipede, because everyone thought it was when Zeke got decapitated that the rumbling stopped, but it was when Eren got blown up that the and his head was separated from the source of all living matter.
Yeah, okay. But that was our population discussion. A lot of Eldians are also dying, so if you're saying he's like doing it for his people, he's kind of doing a shitty job at it. Unless I guess maybe it's not racist, it's just nationalistic, and he just likes his people as in his nation's people.
I think because there was also
he just likes his friends.
There was also a point raised in I think even in the anime where why didn't Eren undo the Titanization?
They do bring this up a lot in the episode
of the soldiers of the military and everything.
Yeah. Do we have in retrospect, we're big brain gentlemen, we've seen the whole thing. Why didn't he? Does he just not is he not able to do it? What am I missing something?
So I wonder if perhaps untightening people is just something that even the founder can't do.
Yeah.
It feels weird. Like, but the only thing we know about Titan about the biology alteration of the founder, the only examples we have are that, for example, the founder was able to make Eldians immune to a disease.
Yeah.
And I guess can make them unable to reproduce, but I guess it can't physically transform their bodies. Like it can't just turn them into a Titan or I guess not turn them into a Titan at will.
I guess we never got confirmation they could make people infertile, but Yumi turned around to do it like she could do it, so I assume they like that was a possibility. Isn't there a line in like the third to last chapter about how Ymir is kind of still in control and like a lot of the powers she still has? Am I making this up?
Well, I mean, Eren's powers come from her.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm sure a reread would clear some of this up, but or a more fine-tooth comb going through.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe some things are left unanswered, which is definitely true come the ending. But
it will be interesting to see if the anime tries harder to answer some of those. I'm also trying to think. Did in the manga? Did Armin explicitly say genocide on this scale?
I don't know. Some of the verbiage later I am very interested to scroll through.
The unofficial translation says a massacre on a scale that's never been seen before. In fact, I'll go grab my book and see if it says genocide.
We've got the physical copy on hand.
Supporting the author. Wow.
Firstly, before he gets back, well, after he gets back, we'll talk about this too. We should talk about like the tint of how they're making the rumbling very like orangey and reddy. I don't think I imagined that when I was reading everything. Like, everything is going to be like the way they're choosing. How do you explain that? I think everybody gets what I'm trying to say, or maybe I'm
the tone.
Yeah, like not the tone, but like the colors of like that. Everything is like looks very Ragnaroky, Doomsday. I think that's heightened a little bit in the anime.
I actually thought, because you're on the panel of the Titan's feet now. I thought they looked actually really good. I thought I was
yeah.
like, man, this looks like it was hand drawn. Like, there's a few points where it's like, oh yeah, there's clearly CGI, but they've
I thought it
masked
looked
it in
good,
such a
even though
way
you
where
could
it's
tell.
behind the steam. There's only a few times where it's like, oh, like I can tell it's a bit janky, but like
Yeah.
generally how they've done the the massive amount of colossal titans has been
Even the groups of
really
normal
strong.
Titans this episode, I thought were pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were very good. It's the official translation, at least in my printed copy, says massacre instead of genocide as well.
Doesn't
so
he
the
say
anime definitely
both
made that.
in the anime, or does he like say genocide and massacre on an unprecedented scale or something, or does he just say genocide?
I thought he just said genocide on an unprecedented scale.
I wouldn't trust my memory.
is the
so-
Japanese the same, or is it just the translation?
I have no idea. I honestly don't
Only
know.
learn Japanese, really,
what the-
Mr. Bacon.
Yeah.
But we get Falco and
Oh yeah, we got the something just
Not
reminded, we got
Falco.
the Saul Goodman. We got the Saul
we did.
Goodman
It wasn't a
Titan.
few frames. I don't even necessarily know what Saul Goodman looks like, but I recognize the Titan that people called the Saul Goodman Titan, so he was in there. Even though we
the
didn't get
manga
Game of
does look
Thrones
just
one.
like him.
Yeah. Well, then we get this Gabby Reiner scene. They're running around. I'm pretty sure everything here. We don't get this cool shot of Reiner's hardening, crumbling over here. I don't know if everybody has the chapter open, but he just talks about it
I'm
here.
looking at your screen.
I've got it up. Maybe I should put Kyle. Yeah, I
He's
found
got
that
the book.
page.
Oh
I've
yeah,
got the book as well, yes,
Yeah,
but
sorry,
I
I
need
can
to show
scroll
something
through.
for
I want to
chat.
scroll through it.
So I'm sort of finding pages from totally legitimate sources and posting them on in Paint as we go.
Yes.
There was. I feel like I talked about this maybe in the episode 2 thing, where with the Gabby Falco scene, I was like scared initially, especially when the scene started. That oh no, this could be a little bit over anime dramatic. And I got the tease here in this scene. I got the initial feeling again with Gabby here, where she, I don't know, the 14-year-old girl anime characters, they can get very annoying seeming at times. Even though I'm the biggest Asuka simp to ever simp, it would seem contradictory for me to bring that up. But I felt like they, again, did it very well and didn't make Gabby overdramatic. Even with the Sasha shot, which I know Miller loves, I'm assuming Bacon doesn't love because he hates Sasha and wants her to be killed again and again.
No. It's
but
I
I
it's
thought they did it
Gabby,
pretty
so I
well.
like it.
Yeah.
Which one? You mean the one of like where
the Sasha,
Kaya
like,
sees?
yeah, the match shot. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
thought they handled that well.
that is straight. That is like straight from the manga.
Yeah,
though.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel the same as I do in the manga, where it's like, maybe we didn't need the exact image of her. I don't know. Maybe I'm still getting mad that it's not as subtle as I wish it would be, but whatever.
Yeah.
Funny, actually, something I'm just thinking of now that I'm on those pages. I've only watched a couple of the reaction vids because it's not really an episode that I think warrants many of the reaction vids in general. The reaction vids I've watched, none of them have picked up that it was Niles Titan
Yeah.
as well.
They didn't.
that
hold
that
on.
was the saddest part. My boy Niall.
Yeah.
Having to
Straight away, I was like, "Oh shit, that's him." I mean, I didn't give a fuck because I think it's the one that Shadis killed. I think is Rogue's Titan, and knowing and
Oh,
you know,
I see.
Yeah, I think I know.
Actually, I do want to point out, for whatever reason, I really like the animation of Kaya's face getting smacked by the piece of wood. That was
yeah,
very well done.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's something oddly
It
satisfying.
kind of hit
Oh, right.
different.
oh, you mean when she clotheslines on it, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the portcullis or whatever.
Yeah.
The cross hatching, but
Yes. We also don't get this shot of Reiner running naked. Sad.
Yeah, I was thinking that whole shot because like that's still when the Titan's forming, but I guess that actually doesn't fit as well. Maybe with like how they showed it in the previous episode because I think it had basically been fully formed, but
It's
no
usually
naked Reiner.
yeah. If you look at the manga pages, any of them that have like this like white cross thing that's like the motif to indicate that it's a brief flashback in just a single panel, usually these are never in the anime. I've noticed that, especially in doing this last season. It's sad, but they're always cool little like what if panels or something of like a brief flash, and I think they're always really sick. But the anime decides not to do them. I was interested in the closing of this scene with the Gabby mirror shot, another famous shot that spawned a famous Kyle Entertainment video. What a video! Actually, I don't remember the video that much at all, but the one with the Gabby mirror shot.
Yeah.
I was wondering if, because this leads me to believe, because this is kind of the last big thing Gabby does. This led me to believe.
I mean, the top left panel of that page looks just like Eren. The top left panel is like that is just
the long
Eren
hair,
in
the
that
tie
panel.
up, the mirror, the water. But when 124 came out, I was on High Street. I was like, oh my god, my prediction's correct. Gabby's gonna be the final protagonist. She's gonna beat Eren up. This scene had me on like cloud nine. I was huffing the hopium. But it's kind of funny in retrospect. It seems like Isayama always, like, she didn't, like, change plans or something because Gabby wasn't liked or something. Because they did give this scene a lot of focus also in the anime. I only watched the normies' reaction. They didn't seem to be like, oh, that's like the Eren shot. Because I think the Eren shot in the mirror is more famous in the manga just because I think it's the end page for a chapter and also the opening page for the next chapter. So
it was also one that got fucking hyped up and memed to death as well.
He's got abs and stuff. We like that here.
I don't remember Susie Liu commenting that much on this particular bit.
But yeah, so
she doesn't say get some rest to Reiner, does she? It just shows her covering him up and leaving. It was quite quick. They kind of cut out.
Yeah, I don't remember that, which is a shame because that's quite a nice little.
He's tapping him on
a nice little thing because previously they'd been arguing basically, and Reiner had effectively given up hope.
Yeah,
Like the anime, I think framed it as more that she was just annoyed at him more than anything.
Yeah, she's kind of like picking up the slack kind of in the anime, rather than looking after him. What a nice girl. We've also still got the rumbling sound effects here, which. Again, we kind of talked about last week. I think it is handled better in the manga. I like it's just such a manga thing. Like you really couldn't do this in anime. Just the sound effects constantly on like every page.
Sure. It would just be too noisy. It would literally there'd just be too much sort of effectively white noise just blocking everyone.
Manga doesn't have audio, so you got to portray it somehow. And sometimes the restrictions. What is this called? The restrictions make it better in the end. It's kind of like fuck, what's the fucking word? We learned
limitation is the mother of creativity.
Yes, but adversity theory is the thing I learned in ancient history class in grade 11, where they said for a society, for a civilization to thrive, there needs to be it can't be too comfortable or something. That was like a theory of how you get a successful civilization, but whatever. When there's adversity, people overcome it and make good things. That's what we're trying to say here. We're very clear here on the secondary ENT channel. Do we have anything else to say on this this previous scene before we move on to the team meeting on the roof here?
Reiner looks cute in his blanket. I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cute and wrapped up.
So, team meeting. I'm curious. I wonder how much of this dialogue did they change? It's over. I never imagined he'd slaughter all of humanity. I actually didn't remember that line from Jean, but that was in the anime. But if they disappear, so will all the hatred. All our enemies ever true to flattened. This is all the same, I think. The one thing they feared most is happening. Kill us all. In other words, this is the result they brought upon themselves. This is sort of like Jean going through the Eren motivation.
Yeah.
And then having the moment of doubt at the end because he's not an Eren simp like our boy Flock.
It's like the most Jean scene.
Yeah.
He's like contemplating, oh, this is just the easy way, and then his moral compass kicks in. He's like, oh, I hate it. Oh, okay, yeah, this is bad. Yeah.
He always goes through like the pretending to be a prick because he kind of wants to be a prick, but that damn conscience he has. It always comes back at the end of the day. Hardy screaming outside the window, he's got to go.
Jean S tier character.
Yes.
I think I put
Nate saying, I think it lasted a little too long in the anime. The reactions I saw hated the Gabby Sasha and Eren Gabby parallels because they refuse to correlate characters they love and characters they hate.
I guess I only watched the normies one and they like Gabby. Which one of
those two do they... Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I watched Susie Liu likes Gabby as well. she's very unsure how to feel about Eren. She hasn't jumped on the straight here. Like, the moment some of this stuff happened, I was like, yep, okay, Eren is 100% bad guy.
Yes. The normies have not jumped on that train either yet, so it's going around, I guess. I don't know. I think the month between and all the conversation we had definitely served to like harden our stances on Eren, especially when it was such like a controversial issue where like you had to take a stand and then argue for it, especially in like the manga community. I feel like it's different if you're just watching week to week and it's sort of just the thing you do to be like, this fucking Eren prick. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I still can't.
Was Eren morally justified?
No, but I still laugh when I watch like the reactions to last week's episode, and like everyone's like, "Yeah, Eren," and then that line will trample the entire world, and then everyone's kind of like, "What? Are we the bad guys?
Yeah. Are we the baddies?" Yeah.
Anything else here? The massacre line, we changed it to genocide. That's interesting. Zeke plan. Oh, look, we actually did get this. My theory is being disproven. The little white lines are going across this panel, and we actually did see the brief flashback. They also did they've kind of been hesitant to do too much like flashbacks by like flashing a few images on screen, but they did that for Gabby. No, they did that for Kaya in this episode. They did that for Pixis, and they did it for this Eren.
Although they did choose a different shot for that scene. Now maybe it's just because there we see them,
yeah,
but in the anime it was framed on Eren's face.
It's kind of like you're seeing it through John's eyes, kind of, because he's the one talking.
It's probably because they probably showed it because they had already drawn it before to save.
Yeah.
On
the Pixar scenes were reused ones. It wasn't like they reanimated it like the the episode 1 footage from.
Yeah, I saw some TikToks going on about how it looks weird having Wit's animation.
They put a filter over it. It looked fine.
Yeah. Well, they reused the same Mikasa animation cut from last week's episode where she was slicing someone's neck.
Oh, did they?
The same way she does the. Yeah, they reused some animation there. Yeah.
Whatever.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
you don't notice it. It doesn't exist.
I mean, one of the great qualities of Japanese animation, whether or not the circumstances surrounding it are good, is that they're very efficient with the animation and limited animation. There's a great art to being able to convey such movements in short animation. Can I go on a tangent here? Is this allowed?
Go on a tangent. If I'm allowed to do feminism discussion, Mr. Bacon is allowed to do.
All right. Well, this has nothing to do. This is nothing to do with Attack on Titan. But I was watching Gurren Lagann recently, famous 2007 anime. But I was just so surprised about how few frames they use, but how all the motion is conveyed exactly. I can still see the motion. So anyway, that's just a very good example. I thought of some more limited animation.
Sometimes, Bacon, less is more. And that's the wise words from me today.
Yeah.
I want to touch
someone who hates any motion.
Oh yeah, all motion is bad, by the way. Gurren Lagann manga probably doesn't exist, or is probably made after the fact. Probably better. I'm just saying. Cowboy Bebop manga, stellar. That's not true.
Stellar. Gotta love it.
The
Ava, right?
Yeah. I wanted
to. Manga, not the case. Watch the anime.
Yeah.
just getting that out there.
I want to bring up this one line where they say the ones that reap the benefits of the massacre are us. I think this line, and it's not an anime specific thing, obviously. I just read it from the manga, but I like it as a line. It kind of has two meanings of because it comes right before the flashback of clearly the guilt of Eren basically wanting to save his friends selfishly, and that driving him to do what he's doing. It clearly weighs on them. But it's also more ambiguous than that in the line itself, where it says the ones to reap the benefits of this massacre are us. Generally, that could also mean just the people in Paradis. But I think they all interpret it more specifically as literally them because of the train scene. It works in two ways. I think it's cute.
Smart writing.
Perhaps. Then they get attacked by Titans, and Connie uses this opportunity to swipe the kid and run off. If we bring up the reactions again, I was watching the normies, and Serge, we'll name one of them, did say that this plot point seemed to have come out of nowhere, which I didn't really get in the manga. I don't know if other anime people also think that.
Which bit, sorry?
The Connie subplot. He seemed to have issue with, like, we're dealing with all this big stuff and now we're getting some random Connie subplot. I think the anime fans had kind of completely forgotten about Connie's mother and the fact that she's just still there. I feel like manga fans brought that up like every time we did last minute predictions. It'd be like, Connie's mother, is this going to get addressed this chapter? Is Zeke coming back?
Like, you know, because the manga fans were very much like, you know, everything, you know, Isayama doesn't just leave anything hanging. You don't have Connie's mother turn into a Titan and reference it several more times and then just.
This is the goat we're talking about. This is the goat.
And the thing is, like, we have seen like some. I mean, there's been like 4 years since, I think a lot's happened. Obviously, more and more about how Connie's mum ended up in the situation she ended up in has been revealed. So Connie has been pushed more and more towards things. Obviously, he's lost Sasha, which kind of drove him over the edge a little bit. Like we saw how he was already pretty much anti-Eren, from the raid on Liberio. After that, like, he was not down on Eren's side at all.
Yes.
He basically just regarded that Eren was no longer his friend as far as he was concerned.
Connie gets a lot of...
And now the world's ending, and he has one chance to go. He has an opportunity. Of course, he's going to take it. You know, like I feel like it's a very logical character decision. Whether or not if it was like it's a bit of whiplash and you didn't expect it, I don't know. But
we also know that Connie is renowned for not thinking anything through. So, that's one of his traits. He's very bullish. He'll just think he'll just act without thinking a lot of the time. So I think fits perfectly within it. He's like, he sees the opportunities, so he's going to take it.
Yeah, Connie gets a lot of I think Connie's character is served pretty well in the last arc, which we're talking about the Marley. Well, I guess he's not in the Marley arc too much, but in this last post chapter 90, because he gets a lot of those moments of being like very angry, and that kind of sets up here of like he's kind of losing his way in a sense, and then Armin helps him regain it, and then he has the panel where he's like, "Let's go save the world and help out people rather than trying to." Which is kind of funny
because I think Isayama originally created the character of Connie literally just because he needed to fill a spot in the top 10.
Yeah.
I think that was originally the thing. Like, most of the top 10 had their were already planned out, but he needed one more space, and he wasn't going to give it to Armin or Ymir, so he created Connie and gave it to Connie.
That's not surprising with early Attack on Titan character writing.
I mean, early Connie is basically not really a character. Let's be honest. Connie doesn't really start being a character until. Yeah. But even then, Sasha's not really a character beyond Potato Girl.
She's a
potato
girl.
Yeah, I mean, most of the side characters don't get fleshed out until season 2, really, like the Clash of the Titans arc, because we spend a lot of time with them without Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. You know, it's like Connie, Sasha, Reiner, and Bertolt together. Sorry?
Yeah, the first half of that season,
Yeah.
And Ymir as well gets a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Ymir, of course.
Yeah.
And Historia.
I think this is why I like to harp on about the Sasha meme, because I still don't get how you could be that mad at Gabby. Like, at least from my perspective, it's like, how people really hate Gabby that much because she killed Sasha.
It's actually
when Sasha's like a nothing burger. You know, it's like. I guess the waifu powers are strong. That's what I can think. Like, if Connie died, no one would care. And like then Sasha would be a great character because she would get all the whatever. But Isayama knows it's like, okay, well, if I kill the waifu, you know. Oh,
and again, Sasha was meant to die in the Clash of the Titans arc as well.
Oh yes,
which is why she's not in the second half of it.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. I was just pondering as we were talking about this. I can't remember if this is specifically a Matthew Matos's point or it builds kind of off one of his points. It's interesting to think about, like, why is fleshing out characters good? What a vague question, Kyle, you may be asking yourself. But the idea really at the end of the day is to get you to care about a character, right? That's why we flesh them out.
Yeah.
We kind of construct these things like character development as ways to explain fleshing out characters to try and get to the end goal of like this very basic, like you care about a character. So it's kind of interesting to like look back or not to zoom out, I guess, and think, is the dumb potato gag better than literally fleshing out a character if it makes people remember Sasha and care about Sasha to the point where they're all very mad that Gabby killed her? It's kind of interesting because, like, in this sort of age of internet analysis, we tend to value like fleshed out good character writing or whatever we perceive that to be. But it kind of, if a dumb potato gag that we can sort of rub off as like, yeah, for these plebs that like potato gags and Sasha, it's kind of interesting just to like think about that. About like, I guess it is the same, like it just did the same thing but much quicker and with a little effort, I guess. But that's
it is in a way like it's a mastermind of like, oh, it becomes a meme and then everybody remembers it.
I think the
way
anime
more.
had a lot to do
and
with it becoming
even if people do have a lot of like character development or whatever, but that doesn't, people are like, oh, that means they're good because they have character development.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna like them because they have the character development or whatever. And I mean exactly, like I know people who do like in real life that don't like Gabby because she killed Sasha, and as fun it is to make fun of them, it is also like, well, whatever makes you like a character makes you like a character. Sometimes it is just the character design, and let's not get too pretentious about like certain
let's not
things
forget
being more
let's
high
not
art.
forget Petra, the original AOT waifu. Everyone loved her. Everyone was gutted when she was killed, myself included. She had some dialogue, she had a few she had some panels, she was cool, but she wasn't like some super complex fleshed out character. All that was established was she was a very good Titan killer, and she
quite
cared.
nice.
And she was like a nice person, which was like this weird dichotomy.
But the main thing is that she was hot. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's why everyone was sad when she dies.
Yeah, exactly.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, if Isayama had decided to swap Connie and Sasha's roles around and had Connie get shot by Gabby, the reaction wouldn't have been
as strong. Yeah,
as strong.
I don't see.
No one cared about Connie.
I don't see the Sasha.
Well, they'd have been
Sasha
sad. They'd have been sad for Sasha because Sasha would have been gutted.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'd have been sad on behalf of Sasha. But we got that with Mikasa. We got to see everyone got to be really sad for Mikasa, and that's something I really liked. Again, Sasha's death enabled us to see this other side of Mikasa, because we'd always seen that Mikasa and Sasha, like Mikasa almost had this sort of almost fed up sort of straight man approach with Sasha.
It was like,
and then we saw that her death really hit her hard.
I just figured it out. Remember, Sasha just had come back with a new sexy character design before she got killed off. That's why everybody was mad. It wasn't because of the potato gag. It was because she was hot now too. It all ties into Petra. Everything is just Petra over again.
20-year-old grown-up Sasha with the new ponytail.
Oof.
No, she didn't.
After she just murders a man, like it's like,
ooh. That would have been something interesting to see actually with more Sasha development if she'd survived, just to see see if she'd become much more of a cold-blooded sort of killer.
Just quickly, because I didn't actually tie it into the Matthew Matosis thing. This will only take a second. Okay. The Matthew Matosis point was that subtlety is kind of a very arbitrary thing, because we think in this big internet analysis brain that subtlety is the most important thing because it makes you smart, because you can go through and figure it out without it being told to you, and show don't tell is very important. But at the end of the day, it's just literally a device to keep you engaged, not unlike a sexy action scene or literally boobs on the screen. It's no like zoomed out. It's no better inherently. But that was the Matthew Matosis point. Bacon had something to say.
Yeah, no, that was a great Matthew Matosis bit. Go watch Meta Micro videos. It's very good. It was.
Did you lose?
It may be on someone's list, and it was on my list as well. But yeah, I mean, hang on. So Miller's saying that I think AOT having such little sexualization for the girls means that everyone thirsts over every other female character because that's all they get. Like Piek bending over scene was such a nothing scene, but everybody goes wild over it.
This is true. Sometimes again, the less is more.
The thing is though, everyone thirsts over every female character. I think the thing is that is just a trope in anime in general.
Yeah.
Like that's not there's nothing special about Attack on Titan. I think Attack on Titan maybe it looks more egregious because the characters aren't
Yeah.
sexualized, so maybe that's why it's more of a problem. Whilst in most animes they're drawn there's a lot of
Yeah.
they've definitely been drawn in certain ways
Yes,
for certain purposes.
It's interesting because it's almost a little bit less weird for you to thirst over an anime character, because if you thirst over like Black Widow, for example, from the MCU, not from the comics, it's still like you're kind of weirdly sexualizing Scarlett Johansson in a weird way, which makes you seem creepier, I think, than like Pieck bending over, because Pieck isn't a real person played by an actress. So I think there is. Obviously, like bro talk. Obviously, there are bros nationwide every day talking about how great Scarlett Johansson's butt is, but like you definitely get it's definitely more frowned upon in like public speech. Like I remember,
and waifus aren't like
the hottest thing they've
Yeah.
ever seen, says Miller.
but it's a different
Like,
different
it is
shame
different, yeah.
sort of thing. Waifus are cringe, not like creepy.
it's degenerate, and it's like cool to be like, oh yeah, I'm a weeaboo.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
weeb.
like fun to embrace, but
Self-deprecation.
being like sexualizing random girls, that's not a good look, Chief. But
I've also got the old meme up on my
Yeah.
stream. People who like Mikasa, people who like Pieck.
Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, Kyle called. I feel like Kyle called me out in a stream a very long time ago before I was a fully welcomed member of the community, where I was saying that Pieck was one of my favorite characters. And Kyle was just like, everyone just likes Pieck because she's hot and lazy.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I like her way too
I
much
remember
too. But yeah, like that worked on me. I was about to say Pieck is kind of my Petra. Like, I think she is fleshed out. I think she has a lot of really cute moments.
Yeah.
She isn't like the most fleshed out character or anything like that. Certainly more than like Petra, or even Sasha. But yeah, Pieck resonates with me a lot more than
like,
Sasha or Petra. But go ahead.
But like I remember Petra, and also,
Sasha?
I'm blanking on Pieck's name. There we go. I think it's also like because they're a little less tropish, and perhaps a bit more less exaggerated and less bombastic or something like Sasha. It kind of gives this illusion of depth that like you may not get explicit information about them, but there's more to them.
That, yeah.
True. But it's also
that,
just like small conversations where you're just like, oh, okay, it feels like they're real people. I can imagine them a bit more as an actual human, and maybe get connected to them more. Where like Sasha's just like, oh, it's a funny joke because she ate, it's very exaggerated. So then, at least for my brain, I'm just like, okay, this is much more tropey. I'm just going to slot this into this is their one gimmick, effectively. So
wanting more as well can lead to consequences. We all wanted to see more of Rico. We wanted more Rico, and the monkey's paw, and the finger on the monkey's paw curled.
Yeah. Those who know and those who don't know.
How did we get into this tangent? We were talking about Sasha, and if she didn't.
You were talking about mathematosis.
Yes, of course I did. Right, just blame me. All right. I think we've done the soul scene, so we should moving on is what I'm trying to say here. Then we get Yelena freaking out about Zeke. I think it's a cute moment. I like Yelena a bunch.
Yeah, she's just like I mean, her whole character is just basically the one-note worship of Zeke.
Yeah, this is definitely a trope.
Because even now she just
no, go ahead.
She just can't sort of believe that Zeke isn't doing anything.
This is a trope I like also. I think last time we were talking about this was with Bacon in our Vinland Saga talk. We were talking about like the unknown badass. It's like going to beat everybody up, but people don't realize it yet. But the audience knows because they've seen the previous arc. Thorfinn's going to beat these guys up. Mm-hmm. But the other characters don't know. This is a similar trope that I like of like the character who believes in something so much, sort of having it crushed. A little bit less of a fun trope, but like the slow realization of the like this literally can't be happening. Why is Zeke not controlling the Titans? It feels like she kind of internally has figured it out, but like subconsciously, but she hasn't cognizantly realized that
she's having some severe cognitive dissonance. Right now.
I don't remember the glasses dude nearly getting eaten. Obviously, he saves the world at the end. Very important, and can keep coping.
Yeah.
But that's not yet actually. Then we get the Nile scene.
We need to get through this. How much more battery do you have?
I haven't even got one warning yet, so we're nearly on 50% battery life.
Oh what? Oh yeah, it does show her getting smacked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not as clear though. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
I liked it.
She properly gets.
She gets
fucking
whammed.
She gets domed. In the anime.
Yeah.
I think as well, we get like a shot, that single panel there. I think it makes it much more clear that it's Nile. Like I was watching the anime and I was like, wow, that like his face keeps getting obscured and shadowed. There was maybe like one shot where you could maybe work it out, but like the manga, it was super obvious because you've got like the wider shot. Fair enough, he looks a little dopey, but then the panel of just his face going like, yeah. That's like so, you can see that as Nile straight away.
Yeah.
And like obviously, none of the characters there knew who Nile was.
Yeah.
Or had any real interaction with him, so that's why they couldn't do like the same sort of thing they had with Pixis.
Yeah.
It just relies on us as the audience to know. And it's sad. Nile's cool.
I completely forgot about Nile being a Titan, and I recognized it in the anime. So I guess like there was like one shot I think of him like running after Kaya, and I think you could be like drawn to Kaya's face and be focusing on that, but for whatever reason I looked at his face and I was like, oh yeah, it's Nile. No.
We got one of your little flashbacks as well. One of the flashbacks you say don't happen with Kaya thinking about her mum being eaten.
We did indeed. It's actually kind of more violent in the anime, actually. They did keep the violence up. The Nile's head getting cut open was pretty fucking violent. It was pretty cool. Also, something they never...
The first shot Gabby takes is less violent in the anime, but the second shot is absolutely brutal. There's just blood everywhere.
Yeah, they do the blood.
It seems like they can get away with blood, but they don't really show because they didn't show. I don't think they showed Nile's jaw hanging off or anything like that.
It would be very hard to do this like frame in animation. It's much like it works in motion in like the still.
Yeah, and people say Isayama isn't a good artist. I mean, that's just like conveys so much impact and emotion.
He likes the squish, doesn't he? We'll talk about Ramsey in a few weeks, or maybe we won't. Maybe it'll be in the movie. Just really quickly. Hold on, Mister. I get your point out.
I was just say someone in your chat. Is that did that used to be Health AU? Anyway,
that's the health department.
Third.
The health department.
Does like any of the main cast know Nile? I thought Aaron was
Levi knows him.
Well, Falco knew him.
Yeah,
Falco. Well, I mean, actually,
I feel like Armin might have as well.
I'm sure Armin knows of him. He was at the trial, remember, with Eren and Mikasa?
Didn't she? Like when they were handing them off.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Mikasa doesn't like him.
Yeah, because he wanted to kill Eren. Really quickly, on the blood thing, they did something I've never seen them do in the anime before, or even in the manga. Later, when Shardis kills one of the Titans, the blood's like continuing to like spurt out after he's cut the nape, which they've never done before. That was like new for the episode, of a way to portray like after a Titan dies, the blood is still like spitting out of it. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I thought that was interesting.
I didn't actually notice that.
Yeah, but that was in one shot.
That is interesting.
But even more importantly, it is now the time, gentlemen. Are you excited? You should be. For your Demon Slayer discussion for the next 2 minutes, maybe.
Is it the piss break?
It is the piss break. So if you want to talk about Demon Slayer, now is the time. I'm opening the door. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, cool.
I saw your tweet about how you weren't as big a fan of the long flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Big sad.
It was fine. I just felt like it dragged a little bit. Now the episode was longer. Like the episode was 32 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize
24.
I didn't realize it. Yeah.
But they spent a lot of time on that flashback and not as much time with our main group. And I understand, obviously, our main group will see a lot. We'll see in the next season. But considering that Tengen's basically retiring at this point now, it seems, and the main group, I just wish we'd seen a little bit more of them sort of appreciating their victory. I don't know. I really don't know what I was sort of expecting, but I wasn't expecting that long a flashback.
I was thinking Zenitsu and that one wife could get along very well, crying together the whole bloody time. Man, Demon Slayer does love its tears. A lot of tears, lots of crying, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah.
It was also kind of weird Inosuke being like, poison doesn't work on me, next episode dying of poison, and then just needs Nezuko's magic hands to fix it.
That was a bit like, okay, Nezuko, the best antidote to death.
Yeah, I just feel like it would have maybe been a bit more impactful if Inosuke had been fine, like he truly was immune to poison, whilst Tengen was just like restricting himself, using his breathing to restrict it. So it's just Tengen who she heals, and I think that could have been a bit more impactful because by the time she because she heals Inosuke, and then Tengen's trying to give a speech about how he's dying and keeps getting interrupted. But maybe that's why.
I thought that was very funny. I actually laughed. That was
maybe that's when.
First Demon Slayer joke I laughed at.
Maybe the humor wouldn't have worked as well if we actually didn't know if Tengen was going to make it or not, because at that point we knew he was going to make it.
That's it. So I've heard enough of this. I've heard enough. No, finish your point quickly, and then we'll get back.
I think I basically.
Oh no, I was going to say that it's quite weird. You end on such a cliffhanger of everything exploding, and then you start this next episode, and Nezuko's like, "Nope, that's not happening, mate." And then we're like, "Okay, yep." I it felt a bit underwhelming, but I mean, I can nitpick Demon Slayer all day. I'm just like, it's a good time. I said 7 out of 10 on my thing because numbers matter. See that. Really do.
I wondered if people would be mad about that, but anyway,
that's like the most mild take Kyle ever saying Demon Slayer's a 7 out of 10. I feel like. I mean, maybe
I feel like Miller's been talking like it's the greatest thing he's ever seen in his goddamn fucking life, and I think Mr. R has corroborated this.
But this guy likes Hunter x Hunter, so
yeah, this Miller fella. Embarrassing, frankly.
I mean, I wanted to say last week's episode was the first time that I would have classed Demon Slayer as a 10 out of 10. That's the first time I'd have given it like a very solid 8 before that.
Okay.
That's so I was misrepresenting Mr. R's opinion on Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Miller's saying he'll give it an 8 now. Liar. We peer pressured him into lowering.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Miller when you were talking about Reicha. That's why I made the Hunter x Hunter comment. Oh well.
Yeah. I was talking about both of them. But I guess back into Attack on Titan. Cut this nonsense out. What were we talking about? Nile. I did want to bring up really briefly that I don't think the final action shot of Gabby pulling the trigger is as good in the anime as it is in the manga. There's also this sick shot here of her like head tilted, hair amuck, and the blood splatter. Yeah. It's fucking sick. Then we get the Sasha shot. I don't know how I feel about this, but everything else is really cute.
I thought this was the first time I was like,
tier streams.
Oh, where's the single tier streams?
There was a single tier stream from Kaya on one eye and 2 on the other. So they're playing 50-50 with me, and they need to cut it out. But in the manga, just single tier streams. But yes, anything else to say about this scene? Then we get the wrap up.
I really liked the original OST in this scene. I was like,
there was a song that I noticed, but I've forgotten it.
It was, I mean, it's overshadowed by the song that comes after this. But
we'll talk about that.
I was like, wow, this OST is, and it was new, like Attack on Titan season 4. I was like, wow, this is a really, really, it was like dramatic and it was actually hype. It was actually hyped. Like it was the first time I think I felt myself getting like, because I mean. Yeah, that's the main draw. One of the main initial draws to Attack on Titan. I think for most people, you're like, "Oh, this is so exciting and hype" because you like the music. And
oh yeah, we even got a cool 3D maneuvering gear scene where it was 2D.
We did, and it was proper throwback to season 1. That was cool, but with like the next generation of fascists.
Yeah. Yep. Bacon, you were talking about something, and then I yelled over you.
Oh no! Well, I was done.
You were done? I wasn't yelling over you. We get the wrap up in this scene. The 2 blokes on the top are like, we're gonna kill this Gabby bitch, and then they save her, and it's cute, and they all pitch in. Gabby is very shocked. Then they have the conversation. This conversation, I criticized last season's the forest scene because it's a little something, is all I'm going to say. It's a little something. And them talking about devils so literally here is kind of weird. Obviously, it's very important to... Yeah. Devil is a word we use in Attack on Titan. I
didn't even remember this conversation from the manga.
I vaguely remember it.
In this chapter, I didn't remember that much beyond like some key points, like Gabby saving Kaya, Shadis saving Surma.
Yeah.
So
I did like... That's Glasses Boy, by the way, not Surma. We get they bring back the forest point here, and I actually do think, like, when he says we got to get out of the forest, I actually like that bit. I always liked the forest part. Oh, that's right. I hated that scene because they were talking about meat all the time, and it was like, I'm talking about the season 4 part 1. I remember Bacon agreeing with me vaguely in chat now, but yeah. But the forest part I always like, so them calling back to that here. They say devil a little bit too much in this conversation for my liking, but that's a thing in the manga too. What was Mr. R just saying? I wanted to jump off of it, but I forgot.
I was just saying I couldn't remember a lot of this episode. This episode to me was very similar to the Zeke flashback after Levi blows him up. In the manga, it was kind of like a so-so episode, so-so chapter, but in the anime they did it major justice and really improved on it.
I don't know if
not even through necessarily doing anything particularly different.
Yeah. I don't know if I remember liking these like chapters before the Alliance a lot. I like that there's so much going on.
I mean, I've never disliked a chapter.
Yeah.
I more just mean it felt a bit more sort of getting some busy work out the way after. It's usually because they're following such fantastic chapters that it's a very difficult act to follow. Like trying to follow 122 is like, how do you do that?
It is a difficult task. Fuck, I was gonna say something, but then I forgot. Bacon, save us. Say something clever and poignant right now. Do it.
I also completely forgot this scene. I also like how, I mean, I'm fine with the use of devils, but the bring back of the forest, because I completely forgot. I was like, well, what he's gonna say? And then he's like, we should get out of the forest. And I was like, oh, they brought it back, baby. Let's go.
I actually do have something to say now. I think it was one of the tweets. The last whole week, I was getting a bunch of tweets, because I was getting tweets from, like, the Attack on Titan topic on Twitter. Now, I've largely unfollowed all media discourse people on Twitter, because they're all morons and I hate them all. But I started to get Attack on Titan opinions, where it would be like a tweet with like 8.7k likes, and it would just be saying something vague about Attack on Titan that was clickbaity to get likes or to get engagement. I think I saw one rather. That was this shot, which was Niccolo saying we have to keep trying. That was like a pro-ending tweet. I've seen a lot of those ones in that topic, which was kind of cute, but a lot of the reasons were kind of dumb. It was this Niccolo part about even if we can't get out of the forest, we have to keep trying, to sort of say like the ending is kind of, it's not that happy. Like 80% of the population died and we really can't do anything about it. And they don't really give you a confirmed happy ending at the end. And then the bonus pages seem to indicate an even worse ending. The point here, trying to say that this Niccolo point is like the main theme of the series or something, about even if you lose, you have to keep trying in the face of like absolute defeat. Now, when stories usually do this, they usually say keep trying in the face of absolute defeat, and then they win in the end, and it's like, oh, you gotta persevere. But this is kind of hopeless perseverance, which I think is kind of an interesting concept and kind of admirable. But anything to say, fellas?
So Kyle, what you're saying is that they should keep moving forward.
I believe that is a way you could rephrase that. Yes.
Yeah, doesn't like FMA say something like almost exactly the same, to keep moving forward?
I think a lot of stories say that like you've got to keep trying. I don't think a lot of stories are like just give up and then something good will happen. Usually heroes go out there and get it. But yeah, it would just remind me.
Attack on Titan has done the give up as well. Levi tells Erwin to give up on his dreams and die.
Yeah, but that's just like just like the soldier sacrifice, so the group can live on, not necessarily like
the greater good.
Yeah, the greater good. And then we get the scene of him standing on a pile of bodies. Never seen that in manga before. Have we?
No, never.
Yes, there's a Vinland Saga shot and a Berserk shot we're referencing, chat. Since you're all Attack on Titan babies and you don't know shit about good manga, that's what we're referencing now.
The shonen
trash.
10,
by the way. Yeah,
we need to get through this, by the way.
Yeah, we do. I've got a lot of battery left. I don't know what's happening today. Maybe I lowered the brightness. We have been going for a little while. Then we get the Sherma scene.
Hour and 15.
No, I called him Sherma. Yeah, we're a decent amount in. Glasses Boy, who saves the world in the end. He nearly gets eaten. I'd forgotten this entirely. We get a close-up shot that looks like the Daz shot from like season 1. That we don't actually get in the manga. We just get a cool Shardis enter and then yell at them to get his pride back a little bit. I don't think Glasses Boy was crying when he screams Instructor Shardis, because he actually says like Commandant or something. But he's crying here. Look at him.
I've seen a reaction. Yeah, I've seen a reaction though where the translation said Instructor. I don't know if it's because they were watching it from a pirated site, but Crunchyroll definitely uses Commander. Crunchyroll subtitles are a bit weird sometimes.
Yes, they sometimes get corrected, sometimes don't. People complain about that all the time. But I believe in the one I saw, which was on Crunchyroll, it wasn't even Commander, it was Commandant, like with D-A-N-T at the end.
Oh yeah, Commandant. I have heard that one used from time to time. Commandant. I feel like they use that in the dub, perhaps.
Maybe.
You know what? I have a feeling it's probably because like maybe the closed captions are based off of the upcoming dub. I don't know.
There's an anime. I can hear it in a dub in my head where somebody says Commandant a lot. Maybe it's the Nazis in Black Lagoon. I think that might be what I'm thinking of. But I was referencing all of Bacon's things just now. I'll reference my own things. Though Bacon has seen Black Lagoon too. Anyway, that was for you, Chad. I know you all got it and you thought it was a great little reference I made. But yes, him crying here I think is really cute. He really likes Shardis, you can tell. He gets the Shardis will tell him later that he's going to save the world, and Glasses Boy will save the world come the end of the thing. Oh, a disappointment here. We're moving on. You can't refute my Glasses point. If anybody does, I'll get pissed. Now, this shot I was a little disappointed in. The window shot with Yelena. I think it is cooler in the manga. I think they framed it too claustrophobically in the anime. Also, another cool Gabby-esque, because Gabby is the hero, of course. Gabby-esque panel of the hair here with Mikasa disheveled. What did I say earlier? Amok. She's looking cool. Did anybody notice this or care about this at all?
Yeah, I was waiting for this shot, and I didn't actually think I ever saw it. And this is also the shot where they reused the Mikasa animation from the previous thing, where she does like the spin around pirouette. Double slash attack.
They definitely show Mikasa killing a Titan that's close to Yelena and then it crashing into the building. In the manga, they kind of do a wider shot here, but they don't do this exact
One bit
shot.
of that was kind of cool, though, is like Yelena kind of just sort of standing there as all the rubble goes off around her. That bit's kind of cool.
Yeah. Just this is like a direct reference to like that. I think it's in like episode 7, and I remember the anime more for season 1 than the manga. But it'd be interesting if that wasn't in the manga, but it was in the anime, and then the manga referenced it here, but then the anime didn't. That's probably not what happened, but that would be a cute little.
I'm trying to think where actually, yeah. If you go have a look at, if you do a quick search there for Attack on Titan Volume 2, have a look at the cover.
Yes,
for Volume 2.
that. I think that might actually be what I'm thinking of, because I remember Volume 2's Volume 2. I remember the cover, but yes, it looks very similar to this. This one right here. I've got it up now, so chat can see. But yes.
Yeah.
The windows are in the background here, but yeah. Some of these early volume covers are kind of ugly, but I kind of like them.
Yeah, I think.
Look at this Titan. I think he's an ugly fuck.
For the most part, they're pretty ugly.
Yeah.
There's always something a bit weird about them.
His hair's pissing me off, frankly.
Which is cool though.
He's kind of. You can have a weird mismatched face. Fix the hair here. Yikes. But anyway. The Yelena shot, cool in the manga. I didn't remember them. Now they stall on this part a bit in the anime. That sounds really negative. It's cool. They heighten the action for this sequence here. We do get a song.
Yeah.
Miller did interesting anecdote about our friend in chat, Miller. He messaged me right as I was about to click the live button, talking about how he was being very condescending about how he didn't like the music in this scene. And then I responded to him, which is a truthful thing I did while in the episode. I had that conversation with Miller in my head as this was happening in the episode, because I knew this motherfucker would say this. Called out and exposed. The music is good because of juxtaposition. I liked the music in this scene. Miller didn't. I can see people not liking it, especially it did get into a lull when they did the Pixis thing. Alt rock like that is kind of depressing to me. I don't know if that's what the genre of music is. I don't know anything about genres of music or how to define them. But it's kind of like this. It's not emo rock, but it's kind of like it's not very hard rock. It's like I think
metal.
Alternative is the right thing. It is not metal, but The
No. I'm just saying
yeah.
it's not metal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Something I've just noticed actually from one of the panels. I don't know if it's the one you've got up. If you scroll down just a little bit on yours, something I didn't notice. I don't know if they showed it in the anime, but there's like that little bottom panel of all the Marley soldiers half eaten. It's kind of like this sort of cool juxtaposition of like the soldiers.
This is a fucking eclipse shot. What the fuck? I don't remember.
I've never noticed that in the manga, and I definitely don't think they did it in the anime.
They definitely did not. This is Ymir eating levels. This is an eclipse shot. The body's on the ground, the blood everywhere, bacon. Chime in and say, yes, Kyle, it is an eclipse shot.
Is this a Berserk reference?
It might be.
Everything's a Berserk reference.
It is.
Anything with a rib cage
like
exposed and eaten is a Berserk reference. But yes, go ahead, Mr. R.
Yeah.
Just like the parody soldiers, like, you know, just destroying the Titans, and then below was just like the Marley soldiers, the ones who had all the sort of the power, or sort of.
It's like the food chain.
It's just cool. It's just like that nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the anime they made it seem a little bit like they heightened the tension a little bit by doing like chase sequences, which I think is cool. I think the point in the manga is sort of like they very quickly get rid of them, but in the anime it's a bit more of a struggle.
Yeah, well, that's why I felt like the manga almost felt, when I remember reading it, it almost felt like matter of fact, just like, you know, this is just business as usual sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's what I tweeted out about the
About
episode.
it, but...
And the anime kind of turned it into a bit more of a hype moment.
It was the hype moment of the episode. I feel like in the anime, you are right. The manga, rather, it is very matter of fact. But I think that's kind of the point and what I like about it. I don't dislike the anime version. I kind of like when they do different things like that. But this fucking prick here is pretty ugly too, huh? Maybe Mr. R's right about these Titans. Maybe they are a little bit ugly. This one over here.
The one in the Yelena shot's pretty handsome.
Yelena shot.
I mean, one of the theories that I heard was that the reason the Titans are drawn. The reason the Titans are drawn the way they're drawn is because Isayama doesn't really know how to draw faces. That was a big criticism he got on why it was so difficult for him to get published originally. And if you draw the Titans, it doesn't matter if you can't fucking draw human anatomy properly.
Supposed to be hideous. It is insane. There are, in manga, a lot of the time there are little panels where you'll go back and be like, I've never seen this little panel before. And this little bit with the rib cage and the dead Marley soldiers, I've never seen this in my life. But I know I've scrolled past it 15 times over my Attack on Titan history. It's always cute when you go back and you're like... Because in anime, it's very hard because obviously every shot is like full screen, basically, by definition. High definition, no.
Miller's making a good point. The anime treated it like we're back to season 1, which completely misses the point when they know the Titans are human. There is an element of that. There was definitely a lot of nostalgia bait in both like previous episodes and this one.
It worked like a charm on me.
Yeah, it does work in that regard too. But yeah,
so many times the barricades, and oh yes, my favorite song is on. I like it. But yeah, I did notice it was like, oh, let's play this hype music as we kill Pixis. Oh, sad, we're killing Pixis as the drums are going crazy in the background.
Yeah, panels that you mentioned that you forget about, like this is the one that I always feel really stupid about. I never realized the little shot where PX. This is from like previous season where PX being led up the stairs and she waves to everyone. I never noticed Porco in the crowd. That little panel with the crowd and Porco in it.
Oh yeah.
Which I think actually made things cooler as a reader when Porco just suddenly fucking bursts out of the ground.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool because I didn't have that little bit of...
It's definitely designed for not everybody to
like,
notice.
there's like, people will complain of this, oh man, how is Porco there? They never showed us how Porco's there. It's not logical.
Yeah.
And then your cinema sins moment. Ding.
And there was another moment later in this fight as well where I had similar, where there's the shot of them all killing Titans, and then you get the little reaction shot of Louise. Tiny little reaction shot. Because in the anime, you see that
saves
shot,
her, and then jumps and kills 3. It's cool. Yeah.
And then you see her getting wiped out by the Thunder Spear, which will be important later.
Didn't even keep that.
But in the manga, none of that happens. You get one reaction shot of Louise that I missed my first time reading. And yeah, but in the anime, not only do we get Mikasa saving Louise seeing Mikasa being a badass again. Louise then, because she's not paying attention, gets fucking wiped by a Thunder Spear. And the thing is, the anime, it's not the kind of wipe where you think, oh, she's dead. You know, it's just kind of one of those, it happens and it's a setup there. So when she brings up that she has Thunder Spear shrapnel in her stomach.
Yeah.
I wonder if the anime will make it more clear that she died, because I think officially she did. I think like canonically she did die.
She says she's like doomed or something when Mikasa talks to her, I think. Don't take anything I say to heart. What do you call that? Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think she says that. I was a liar earlier, by the way. They do have the chase bit in the manga here. I didn't remember this at all. I think it is.
They extended
it's just
it in the anime,
yeah,
though.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This shot of them all standing up here is really cool in the manga. I didn't remember it though, so when I was watching the episode, I wasn't mad it wasn't there.
We see his Thunder Spear kills Louise. No, I don't think we do, Miller. I think it's just she gets caught in a random explosion
Yeah,
because
because
there's
she's
so much
lying
going
in the
on.
bed afterwards with like the shrapnel in her stomach or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But she's under a blanket. I don't think we see the actual shrapnel.
Wearing the scarf, which she doesn't appear to have in this panel of the manga. Just saying, she didn't wear it to battle.
No. Maybe she had it around her waist or something, Mr. R. How about you keep your opinions to yourself, friend?
Maybe.
It
was cool in the anime getting to see a bit more of Shadis. We saw him obviously in this stuff. We saw him in some of these panels, but getting to see him being a genuine Titan killing badass.
Yes,
like,
yes,
you know,
cool.
people. I think people it's easy
beginning
to
of
forget
season
that
one.
he was commander
the
of
Scout
the Survey Corps for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a weird character Miller is saying in chat. I think Louise does a bunch of interesting things, because she's kind of like obsessed with Mikasa, like Mikasa is kind of obsessed with Eren, so it kind of shows her the other end of it. It gives her some perspective, maybe. The fact that you can inspire people not only to do good things, but to do weird things and become weird fashy. Bitches. I was going to say pricks, but then maybe I should have said pricks, because now I seem sexist, but before I was trying to... Never mind. The Pixis moment is cute. I like it. I like the music too. I think it's fine. I don't think it's bad at all. In fact, I'd say it's good. That song has been used before, right? Because I know I've heard that one before. Get back.
Yeah, it's
somebody
season
singing.
1. Yeah.
Is it from season? I couldn't remember if it was like a season 3.
Hold
on. Remember when there was that rap song in season 3? Did I just remember this?
That's Kenny's theme. Kenny's theme.
I was just remembering.
I don't know why it's Kenny's theme, but yeah.
They're experimenting, I guess. But yeah,
they get the same guy to do
the
raps in every single
anime.
Anime OST. I'm pretty sure. He sounds like the same guy in the My Hero Academia OST.
You asked me where the Get Back song's from, Kyle, because that plays when Historia decides to join into the fight in season, at the end of season 2.
I was.
At
the end of
where she's like, we're now fighting together.
I was thinking season 3, but it's not that. I was thinking when she slams Rod, but that's not right. There's a different song there. But yes, I remember.
That is a different song.
Yeah, I remember. I'm terrible with the Attack on Titan OST particularly. Yeah. Then we get this scene. Flock shows up. Everybody's like, God damn it. And then he puts the gun on Yelena. I think in the anime this was maybe a little bit more visceral, where you like feel for Yelena in this moment. Again, she's been crushed, and Flock just comes off like a fucking prick. Yikes!
He always has been.
Yeah,
he's a Chad, so we all love him.
Yes, all of his Chadly endeavors will be shown in a second. It'll be very interesting to see how they do the Flock scenes of him like chanting to the crowd. I say this, they have to like play it up and have him be a fucking crazy prick. Then we get the Gabby meeting. It's cute. Again, I got the vibe here. Oh no, this could be over dramatic. Gabby's on her knees screaming and stuff, but they did it well. She brings up here, and I don't I thought Armin said this about the just attack the facilities or the military's facilities, which is probably the best option, because attacking combat people is not a war crime. In a war is not a war crime. I don't think you can just Pearl Harbor and it not be a war crime. I don't know what a war crime is, frankly, chat. And then we get the Annie wet scene, and she didn't spit out anything here. We do hear some guttural moaning. I do like that they cut to her body. We do get the boob shot. She's got some boobs in the manga too. Maybe I have to... Not that they never sexualize, just barely. I did like that they like panned up the body and then showed the ring, so that'd be like the tell and then her face. I did like that insert.
Yeah,
I thought that was cute. But that would be the end of our episode, gentlemen. We kind of went over 3 scenes very quickly there. Anything to say?
Yeah. but we spent a lot of time discussing other stuff as well.
And I did just get the first warning, so we've got like 5 to 10 minutes remaining max.
All right, as
we
wrap things up
in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
As we wrap things up, shout outs to well, we did start like 15 minutes late, but shout outs to Ari once again. Going to shout out his YouTube video.
Yes,
I enjoyed it.
He made a new YouTube
You should
video.
too.
What's the exact title again? How the anime changed my perspective on Ymir. Is that it? We'll link it in chat. I'm gonna react to it next stream, which will probably be tomorrow. Did anyone notice anything in the preview? It seemed just generally like I saw Annie and Hitch.
There was a lot in the preview. I can't actually even remember. I
don't like getting spoiled, so I didn't watch it.
You've read the manga, Bacon. Sad to break it to you. But yeah, I know what you mean. There is shots of like this is never really expanded upon, and we never really get a resolution here. I thought this would be brought back to later. They do show a shot in the preview of this scene of like the civilians kind of arguing about whether or not Eren is good or bad. It seems like the civilians all end up coming around, especially in the last chapter where we've got like a weird fashy military going on. What was I saying? That the most of the Paradisian people are all on Eren's side. I'm like, fuck yeah, even if some people just did die because shit fell in their fucking houses. Like this one dude here.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they don't just have everybody immediately at the end of this scene just go like, yeah, Eren. There is some people clearly that are like, it's not everybody believes one thing, which is cool. Just generally a lot of them. But a little bit of nuance in there. But I remember seeing that shot in the preview. It seems like we're going to be doing this whole chapter. If we scroll through it really quick, we got a lot of Hitch and Annie stuff, a lot of Annie backstory stuff. Great stuff.
The episode's called Sunset as well, which is the same name as the chapter.
Yeah.
What happens in the chapter after?
Which is like
then we get then we get Mr. Leonhardt.
There's a lot that happens in this chapter.
These like 3 chapters, 24, 25, and 26 are very much like we're flashing around to a lot of people, and I like that sort of vibe. This panel I really, really like. The one of Mr. Leonhardt standing up and grabbing the gun. There's like so much motion in this. I really like.
He's got his arm on his neck. I didn't realize that before.
And the fucking gun, because he's Annie's teacher, right? He knows how to kick boys, and this poor prick is about to get kicked.
He knows the kung fu no jitsu.
Oh, we get the most important scene in the manga where Glasses Boy decides to save the world. That's the next chapter too. Oh, we get the we get Armin being a prick to Mikasa, not cool. And yelling at her, and then we get Gabby saying goodbye to her Paradisian family. She never sees them again. Well, maybe after they resolve things. After the final chapter, she went to see him. We do get Flock shooting people in the hand. The hand here is real fucked up. The fingers look real gross. I wonder if they'll censor that in the manga. They showed a bunch. Oh, and then he just kills this prick for yelling at him.
He just brains the guy.
Yeah,
it's pretty grim.
Oh yeah, and the Gene stuff, the cool Gene stuff, where he's like, yeah, maybe I will be Flock's number 2. Lamau Flock is a lesser character.
Yeah, there is also. I mean, there's the shot of Gene looking at Mikasa and feeling pretty guilty about himself.
It's just a blonde-looking boy. Because Niccolo is in the final chapter, walking with the family. I didn't hear or ignored what Mr. Raja said. Can we say it again?
I was just saying there's the shot when Mikasa comes up the stairs where Jean sort of turns to look at her, and there's definitely like that sort of concern on there's more concern on his face, I guess, like what she'll think of him.
Yeah, this is a cool shot. Mikasa hanging out here is kind of interesting because I think because Armin heads off with Gabby. Mikasa being around like the Jaegers and kind of just being, because you kind of fear for everybody else in this scene because like, oh, this is some weird fashy shit going on, but there's just kind of this sense that like they're not gonna fuck with Mikasa, which I think is cool.
Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting as well because Mikasa can't hang. Well, Armin's shouted at her, so she goes to like, the only other person.
Yeah,
who she can sort of
husband.
Hang out with, her future husband, just because she's awkward as fuck. Like she's awkward.
Yeah.
Listen, I was there. I was simping for the horse and cart ship. That was mine the whole time. But
listen, I got many Twitter arguments about the Gene stuff back in the day, right?
Listen, there was one scene where Jean was protecting Peak in the final battle. That was enough. That was enough. That was it for me. That was...
The tension blew over. This shot of Flock saying this is freedom, and he's very happy here. It's cute in a crazy way. Oh, we also get the next Connie meme face. Oh no, that's the chapter after. We just teased that Connie is like told Falco some crazy shit and that he's gonna go, and then we do end on the Levi reveal. He's alive. Hanji wants to team up. That'll be next episode, I'm assuming. Do we have any?
That will be how they close it out, I reckon.
Yes. Do we have any final thoughts on our episode before we wrap things up?
Good episode. I'll bookend it.
It was fun.
Looking forward to more Attack on Titan.
It continues to be
Good show.
good.
Absolutely.
To be very enjoyable.
The fact as well, there's only one great anime on a Sunday now. Sad times, but looking forward to next week.
Shit is over. Hooray! What are we gonna do on the piss break next week?
We'll talk about Mr. R and him watching Vinland Saga, because that's all I can do.
Yeah,
that's my one shtick. Yeah.
So, good episode. That's our final closing statement. With that being said, I'm doing the outro, guys. See, I'm going to transition really smoothly here. That being said, support links in the description below. Oh, hold on. That was not smooth. Be back here next week. Subscribe. Well? Subscribe to everybody. Oh, maybe
like the video.
Like the video. Subscribe to Mr. Jarkey Bacon.
To hit the ding bell.
Reicha7.
Ring a ding ding.
Secondary ENT. What's the main one called? Kyle Entertainment. All of them. Hopefully by the time, and I would have sworn to you last week when I said this, it was going to be true, that the fucking second part of this shit-ass list will be out. If it's not out this time next week, they can do it without me. Frankly, they can have the channel. I'll fucking quit. If this goddamn piece of shit fucking second part isn't out, I'm quitting. This video is taking too long. It's a video that's supposed to come out on the 1st.
Valentine's Day, everybody.
It's
I
the
hope
fucking
you all have
February.
a lovely Valentine's.
Oh yes, it was Valentine's Day today.
I'll be smooching with my copies of Vinland Saga. You know it.
Yes. Valentine's Day has only got 4 hours left for us. Oh no. I was out and about today. I've never felt more like Shinji in the theater than I did today. But
were we your Valentines, Kyle?
I guess you were. I was walking around a museum with my mother today.
Lovely.
So if you can beat her up and
museum?
Take it, the museum in Brisbane City. All right, don't follow me.
Okay. I'm trying to get conversation. This is why you're not getting dates, Carl. You need to continue the conversation.
Yeah, well, I just got the second battery thing, love. I'm sorry, you can't be my Valentine. I gotta get out of the car. But yeah, subscribe to everybody. Attack on Titan, good. Support links in the description below. Thanks.